Eryk Anders, how you doing?
Doing awesome, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, not a problem. Thanks for the time. Appreciate it. Appreciate the patience too.
Yeah, not a problem, man. It's all good.
How's that big win treating you?
Man, it's going well, man. Just the way of like the athlete and the fighter, I guess. I win, so I got a lot more friends, a lot more money. You know how it is.
Yeah, that was a particularly good performance on your end too. Kyle Dawkins is no joke. His camp, those Philadelphia dudes, they're grapple heavy and they've been dominant too. But you just shut him out like in every regard.
Yeah, man, I just felt different going into this fight. More concentrated, more focused, more relaxed. Sometimes you have I don't know if jitters is the word, but like you just like your legs feel heavy, your stomach hurts, or you just have these nerves going into the fight. So sometimes it takes a while to settle into the fight, but you know, word go. I just felt good. Um, besides just a prayer for me.
With that win and coming off that, I feel like that was kind of like a not a coming out performance, but you definitely showed out and showed up, and that was one of your best so far. Is there anybody on the radar right now for the next fight, or you just seeing what happens?
Yeah, I'll see what happens, man. The landscape is changing daily, so you know, I don't know, whatever they want, I'm down.
It's pretty nuts. I feel like with Kyle Dawkins anyway, his last loss was Roman Dolidze. That dude got an opportunity to fight Jack Hermanson, and now he's in the top 10. And it's always just so like it's a changing platform always, and
That's
it seems
right.
like opportunity just shows up. So I definitely think that you're in the runs for another big name fight. There's some really fun fights up there too. I know Darren Till, he's coming off a loss. He's a huge name. How do you feel about that fight?
Yeah, I would love to fight Darren Till. He's a big lefty. I'm a big lefty. He showed a lot of resiliency in his last fight. Even though he lost, he battled through some adversity, came back, probably won the second round, maybe. Yeah, he got finished, but um, it's okay. He's a lot tougher than I think a lot of people give him credit for.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing but super tough guys in the middleweight division right now, and there's always a bunch of new guys coming up. Hamza is in the discussion now with his recent weight miss at welterweight. How do you feel about that fight? How do you feel about him in general, though?
Yeah, obviously he's a very skilled fighter. He's made 170 in like 10 days before, I think. He made his debut at 85 and then fought, like the next week or something like that, or 2 weeks
Yeah,
later at 70. So he could cut the weight, but how focused was he during that camp? Or like I don't know all the external factors or what was going on with him, why he missed weight. So I can't really say what weight class he should fight at, but he seems to be more than capable of fighting at both weight classes. So why not let him fight at both?
exactly right. Then I know you've dabbled. I feel like middleweight. You've touched on it a little bit. That feels like your home, right? But you have fought at light heavyweight. Is that still on the table if something comes up?
Yeah, dude. I'm a prize fighter, and you got to fight to get the prize. So the prize is money. So yeah, I'll fight at 205. And there aren't too many heavyweights like smaller heavyweights, So yeah, probably just 205 and middleweight.
Mm-hmm. With Yuri Prohaska out, we have Glover Teixeira versus Jamal Hill right now. One would see it on paper as a grappler versus a striker, but I feel like they're both a lot more well-rounded than a lot of people are looking at it. How do you see that bout going?
I have no idea. Jamal Hill's taking it on, probably relatively short notice for a title fight. Um, Glover's already been to the top of the mountain, fighting to get back up there. So I don't know. You're looking at age, wisdom, and experience versus, a young dude who doesn't know he could get hurt, who doesn't know that, he could get knocked out, who, ignorance is bliss. And maybe he does know all that, but, we really haven't seen him put much adversity in his fights because he's so dominant outside of the Paul Craig
Paul
fight.
Craig.
So, I think that goes a long way. Confidence does. So, and especially like Glover's been knocked out a couple times, and that's clearly Jamal Hill's best chance to victory. So, he's got to be, chomping at the bit to get in there and get that fight going.
Yeah, super exciting fight right there in a division that really has no structure right now. Erie he vacated the title off of an injury. The two top guys fought for the belt. It was a draw. There's really no structure in that division right now, but Glover and Jamal Hill should kind of get the ball rolling again right there.
Yeah. It'll be a fun fight regardless. It'd be cool for a kid coming from where Jamal Hill comes from to go behind enemy lines. Not really, but you'll see when he walks out all the boos, and Brazil's for sure going to be pulling for Jamal Hill. So yeah, we'll see how he reacts.
What other extracurriculars do you get into?
Like combat wise?
Just in general. I know you've been taking up the acting thing with Cobra Kai. That's pretty rad.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I try to do that whenever I can. Like, that's not like an everyday thing. That's just like on a whim. It's like, hey, you want to come to Atlanta? Cool. I like gardening, but it's cold outside, so I'm not doing much of that. That's it, man. Even when I'm home, like I train. I guess hanging out with the kids, playing video games with them, and going. When I'm home, I'm soccer mom, man. Like I train there all day during the day, and then in the evening time, I run everybody to practice. So yeah, pretty busy.
How much time do you get to spend at the UFC PI?
I've been up there a few times, but I'm not in Vegas a whole lot, so but obviously it's great what they got going there. The food, the nutrition. They got everybody up there. PT, rehab stuff, weights, cage, a lot of mat space. So yeah, it's a good spot.
Yeah. I don't know how it is for you right now, but here, Midwest is cold as hell right now. Do you have a dream fight area? Like, do you like fighting in New York or overseas, or what's the dream setting for you?
It used to be Madison Square Garden, but man, I'm not really trying to pay all those New York taxes, and the New York commission sucks. I like fighting overseas. Maybe Japan, I think, would be dope. Like they have like a really great crowd and audience, and like fight fans. Brazil was dope. Yeah, actually, I think Madison Square would be dope. But like I said, I'm not a fan of the commission nor the taxes that come with New York. But
yeah, those laws suck ass from what I've heard.
Well, yeah, they use a digital scale instead of a balanced scale. I remember I made my debut in New York, and like they do like a concussion protocol the day of weigh-ins, I think, which nobody's coherent, especially the way I cut weight back then. They'll name like 7 objects, like lamp, cover, pillow, shoe, pants, shirt, whatever, and then make you repeat them in the same order. I'm just like, dude, I can't do that shit right now.
Yeah, just naming off foods.
Yeah, I'm like tired. Just cut a bunch of weight. Like you're gonna think I have a concussion right now if I try to answer all that shit. You know what I mean? They make you balance on a little squishy square foam thingy, and I was like, dog, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, I didn't know they were that extensive with it.
You can rest assured that I'm gonna have a concussion. We can count on it. All right. After the fight, especially the way I fight, like count on it. Luckily, I went out there and like knocked out Rafael Natal in like 2.5 minutes. So it really wasn't. I didn't have to do all that concussion protocol stuff.
That's a gnarly guy to make your debut against too.
Yeah, he was top 15 at one point, and yeah, he was a good fighter. Just a little up there in age whenever I fought him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was rewatching a lot of your fights along with some of your interviews. I saw you on Joe Rogan, and you're discussing the Khalil Roundtree fight. But you said that toughness is a choice. You said something along the lines of that. And I wonder, is that something that's always been ingrained in you? Because seeing your fights, like your Thiago Santos fight, every fight you've been in, there's like no quit in you whatsoever. Has that always been a thing for you, or is that like more of a earned as opposed to innate?
Yeah, I think that like you can have like a certain threshold. You know what I mean? Like everybody's different. Like some people get a paper cut and it's like life ending, or you hear people like getting hit by a car, or shot, and they just keep it moving. So, and I'm sure like those are two different things, I guess, like adrenaline and stuff. But I don't know. Like, obviously I played for Saban, who's a tough coach. My high school coaches were tough. My dad was tough on us. So um, I don't know, dude. I never ever wanted to quit anything. Like, even if I don't win, it's whatever. But I just feel like if I quit one time, the next time will be easier. And the next time after that will be easier. So regardless of what it is, like, I don't ever want for it to be okay to quit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. So with your fights, your career as a whole, you have switched nicknames about 4 times. Is your boy here to stay, or are you guys
Yeah,
switch that
that's
up?
it, man. That's it. That's it. I ain't
That's
changing.
it.
Yeah.
All right. There's
Yeah.
one from one Eryk to another. I always thought if I ever got into it, I would make it just to see if Buffer would say it. Tile dysfunction. So when he reads the name
Eric.
aloud, is
That's good, man. That's good.
yeah. You tempted on that one?
Yeah. Nah, I mean, come on. People like my name. If I had thought about that,
What's the thought process behind picking a walkout song?
I don't know. Just kind of whatever I'm in the mood for. Um, yeah. I used to have one that I thought that was going to be mine forever. Then I heard everybody else walk out to it, and I was like, this shit sucks now.
Yeah, you're like getting hyped up in the back, and somebody like the first fighter on the card walks out to it. You're like, yeah, god damn it, that was me.
Yeah, exactly. And then I like the Last of the Mohicans theme song. I heard Glover walk out to it, and I was like, okay, he's a champ. I can't ever do that again. But I think the next one that I walk out to is going to be the first and only. And then knowing everybody to take it from there. I'm not going to tell you now, so can't nobody steal my idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not telling anyone. I got you. No, but that's also I'm very much looking forward to seeing you back in there. Hopefully, it's a big name because you deserve it at this point. There's a lot of cool people that are just in the peripherals of the top 15, big names like Edmund Shabazian. He just got off a big win. He snapped his losing streak. Valiant middleweight contender, or could be contender, should be contender, I'd say. I think that'd be a great fight. And you're just here for whoever, whenever. There's no like.
Yeah, they know what's up, So yeah.
And not to delve too deep into, I guess the politics of the commissions or anything like that. But did you watch Strickland versus Cannonier?
In passing, like I didn't sit down and like study it or watch it round for round or nothing like that. Just I was doing a bunch of stuff and walking back and forth through the house and doing stuff. So, nah, what's up?
Okay, so pretty neutral on how the scorecards went.
I have no idea. Like I said, I didn't watch every round.
Yeah. Do you think there's anything to be done about the scoring in MMA? Because you've been on either side of split decisions, and just judges not really able to come in agreement on something on the fight they just watched at hand.
Man, I would really like open scoring.
Open scoring.
Really like open scoring. Yeah, and now what I do is I like when you show up to watch when you fight, they have the other fights playing in the like on a TV in the locker room. So they get you there 2 hours before the fight. So while I'm getting my hands wrapped, while I'm warming up in between rounds, like I try to watch the fight to see how the judges are scoring the fight, and then I know which kind of like. It sucks because if your game plan is this and it's like, okay, they're not awarding that, you try to fight a different way so that you win because you have, if you can't finish the guy, like you have to win on the judges' scorecard. So I try to like pay attention to how they're scoring on that night because it doesn't seem to be consistent from one weekend to the next. So whatever mood they're in that night, I got to fight for that mood.
That's pretty gnarly. I haven't even thought about that. You're in the back, and the whole game plan could go out the window depending on how the judges are going that night.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I think the game plan will stay the same, but like maybe I need more output, or maybe I need to be more aggressive, or maybe I need to, whatever. But
Yeah, like control or
yeah,
accuracy in the strike, something like that.
yeah, you don't know how they're judging before the fight starts. So, and I think they rotate too. I don't think it's the same judges for all the things. So, it also makes it difficult.
I am curious on your initial opinion on Eric's that spell their name with a C.
They're weird, dude. They're weird.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
I'm Eryk. I don't know many people like that, so maybe I'm the weird one. But
And yeah, you have the dopest version of it, I feel. I thought I was like top tier Eryk, but I saw yours. I was like, shit, okay. And my parents did me wrong.
Yeah, maybe mine did. I don't know.
Grateful to not have the C though. I don't trust people like that.
Ugh, can't.
I did have one final question regarding your football career, MMA career, and the newly found just off the whim acting. And like you said, you spent time at the OCP. Has there ever been an instance where you felt starstruck just running into an athlete?
Arnold Schwarzenegger, by far and away, probably the only person I'll fucking go goo goo gaga. Because I'm like an 80s kid, I was born at the end of the 80s, and lived all through the 90s to like his heyday. Terminator, Predator, fucking Last Action Hero, Total Recall, the list goes on for that guy. And, he's just my, what I think the American dream is. He's a foreigner. He came over here, he made movies, he got famous, became the governor, married a Kennedy. He's, his life is just awesome to me, so. I went to an Arnold Classic in Barcelona one time and saw him, and I was just like, "Oh my God, that's Arnold, dude!"
Yeah.
I ran over and tried to get a picture, and he's got security everywhere as he should, and yeah, so I got a blurry ass selfie that wasn't any worth it. You couldn't even tell who it was. I had to delete it, and that was the last I ever saw.
Yeah, I hope you get to meet him again.
I hope, man. I hope. Henry Cejudo hangs out with him all the time, but I don't want to be like, "Hey, Henry." So maybe, man, hopefully I get to that status and stature that I can, hang out with Arnold sometime. And, but, well, man, we'll see what happens, man,
I got faith in it. I got faith.
We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see if I ever interview Henry, I got you. You don't got to do it. I got you.
Tell him.
Hey, well, I appreciate the time, my man. Good talking, Eryk.
All right, thank you. You have a good one.